4 Ways to Torture the Narcissist. Marcus Aurelius. Stoicism, an ancient philosophy, teaches us wisdom, courage, and self-control. It helps us focus on what we can control and let go of what we cannot. Today, I'll show you 4 Stoic methods to deal with narcissists. These techniques are ethical and effective, enhancing your happiness and strength while making the narcissist's tactics fail. Let's understand narcissism, a disorder marked by a grandiose sense of self-importance, lack of empathy, and a need for constant admiration. Narcissists manipulate and exploit others, often leaving their victims feeling anxious, depressed, and isolated. But remember, you are not alone, and you are not the problem. Narcissists thrive on control and emotional reactions. Stoicism provides a shield against their influence, helping you respond with dignity and detachment. Ready to learn how to use Stoicism to outsmart a narcissist? Keep watching and discover practical ways to protect your peace and empower yourself. Stay tuned to Stoic in Your Life. One, emotional strength. In the face of challenges, particularly when dealing with manipulative individuals like narcissists, embracing Stoic philosophy can be your greatest ally. Here are 7 powerful lessons in Stoic philosophy to help you remain strong when you're about to give up. Emotional strength is the cornerstone of challenging a narcissist through Stoicism. It's about staying calm, logical, and resilient during difficult times, provocations, and pressure. Unlike emotional reactivity, which makes you impulsively, irrationally, and negatively respond to external triggers, emotional strength empowers you to maintain your composure. Narcissists thrive on emotional reactions, enjoying the chaos they create by manipulating and triggering you. They use tactics like gaslighting, lying, guilt-tripping, blaming, shaming, criticizing, or insulting to undermine your confidence and make you feel inferior. By denying them their desires and refusing to react to their provocations, you strip away their control over you. This frustrates and angers them, exposing their insecurity and pathetic nature. Cultivating emotional strength involves several Stoic strategies. Focus on what you can control. Practice mindfulness. Set boundaries. Cultivate self-awareness. Seek support. And practice self-care. By pausing and considering your response instead of reacting impulsively, you maintain your peace, logic, and dignity. Staying present and observing your thoughts without judgment helps you respond thoughtfully. Establishing clear boundaries with the narcissist protects your emotional well-being. Reflecting on your emotions and triggers allows for better management of your reactions. Surrounding yourself with supportive friends, family, or therapists provides perspective and encouragement. Prioritizing self-care activities strengthens your emotional resilience. By integrating these principles into your life, you empower yourself to maintain peace and sanity in the face of narcissistic behavior. Maintaining the power of perspective is essential in challenging a narcissist. Perspective allows you to view situations from various angles, unlike the narcissist's narrow-minded view. Narcissists possess a rigid self-view, seeing themselves as superior and others as inferior. They see the world as hostile, competitive, and unfair. By challenging their perspective and offering alternative viewpoints, you disrupt their fixed beliefs. This realization is torturous for them, as it exposes their distorted and dysfunctional perspective. Utilizing the role reversal technique helps you empathize with others by imagining their emotions and motives. The Socratic method aids in questioning assumptions and beliefs through probing questions. Embracing Stoic maxims aligns your thoughts and actions with reason and virtue. By adopting these techniques, you challenge the narcissist's perspective and cultivate a deeper understanding of yourself and the world. Mastering the art of indifference is another method to torment a narcissist using Stoicism. Indifference is the capacity to remain unaffected by things beyond your control that don't contribute to your well-being. Narcissists are addicted to external factors like admiration, attention, and validation, believing these are essential for their happiness. By refusing to meet their desires and detaching from their values, you undermine their sense of importance. This realization is tormenting for them, as they understand they aren't as valuable as they believe. To master indifference, differentiate between what matters and what doesn't. Apply the reserve clause to detach from outcomes and practice negative visualization to appreciate what you have. By focusing on inner peace and well-being, you cultivate indifference towards external circumstances. Practicing acceptance is the final method to challenge a narcissist with stoicism. Acceptance involves embracing reality as it is, without resistance or denial. Narcissists struggle with resistance, denying reality and attempting to mold it to their will. By confronting them with reality and accepting things as they are, you expose their delusions. This realization is torturous for them as they understand they aren't living well and need to change. Stoic meditation helps reflect on reality objectively, acknowledging successes and failures. Stoic affirmations reinforce acceptance, fostering a realistic attitude. Statements like, "I accept reality as it is," and "I focus on what I can control," help maintain peace of mind. Practicing voluntary discomfort, self-denial, and negative visualization strengthens acceptance and resilience. These exercises test your reactions and train adaptability, helping you live with wisdom and self-control. Incorporating these Stoic principles into your life offers powerful strategies to navigate interactions with narcissists. It empowers you to cope, grow, and thrive, living well and wisely. So, stay strong, stay stoic, and continue to learn and grow. If you found this helpful, please like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment. Your feedback is valuable. Thank you for watching, and remember to live well and live wisely. 2. The power of perspective. When you find yourself about to give up, harnessing the power of perspective can be one of the most effective tools you can use, especially when dealing with narcissists. Stoicism teaches us that perspective is the ability to view situations from various angles and frames of reference, unlike the narrow-mindedness that narcissists often exhibit. Narcissists have a fixed and rigid view of themselves, others, and the world, perceiving themselves as superior and others as inferior. They see the world as a hostile place where they must constantly fight for survival, dominance, and glory. But what if you refuse to accept their perspective and challenge it instead? What if you encourage them to see things differently, see themselves as they truly are, and view the world through a more honest and balanced lens? By offering alternative perspectives, you can shake up their fixed beliefs, making them realize their perspective is not the only best or true one. This can be torturous for a narcissist, as it forces them to confront the reality that their perspective is distorted and dysfunctional. So, how can you apply the power of perspective in your life? Here are some Stoic techniques and tips to help you. First, utilize the role reversal technique. This mental exercise allows you to empathize with others by imagining yourself in their shoes, experiencing their emotions, thoughts, and motives. When a narcissist hurts you, use this technique to understand their fear, insecurity, and pain. This helps you see the situation from their perspective and respond with empathy rather than anger. Next, employ the Socratic method. This dialectical approach helps you question assumptions and beliefs by asking a series of probing questions to reveal the truth or uncover ignorance. When a narcissist claims superiority, challenge their assertions by asking for evidence and consequences. This method not only exposes their flawed thinking, but also encourages them to reconsider their beliefs. Another powerful technique is to embrace Stoic maxims. These succinct phrases encapsulate key Stoic teachings and can help you align your thoughts, judgments, and actions with reason, virtue, and nature. A narcissist tries to control you. Remind yourself that nothing external can harm you and that you can live according to nature. This helps you maintain your composure and dignity in the face of their manipulation. Additionally, practicing mindfulness can help you stay present in the moment and observe your thoughts and emotions without judgment. This allows you to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively, maintaining clarity and perspective even in difficult situations. Setting boundaries is also crucial in dealing with narcissists. Establish clear boundaries to protect your emotional well-being, limiting contact, and refusing to engage in manipulative tactics. Assert your needs and boundaries calmly and assertively, ensuring that you maintain control over your own actions and reactions. Cultivating self-awareness is another important aspect of applying the power of perspective. Reflect on your own emotions, triggers, and patterns of behavior. By understanding yourself better, you can manage your reactions more effectively and choose more constructive responses. Seeking support from friends, family, or a therapist can provide you with perspective, validation, and encouragement. A strong support network can help you navigate challenging situations with greater resilience and confidence. Practicing self-care is equally important. Prioritize activities that nourish your mind, body, and soul, such as exercise, relaxation techniques, hobbies, and spending time with loved ones. Taking care of yourself strengthens your emotional resilience and helps you better cope with stress and adversity. By incorporating these Stoic principles and strategies into your life, you can cultivate emotional strength and resilience in the face of narcissistic behavior, empowering yourself to maintain your peace, dignity, and sanity. Remember, as Marcus Aurelius once said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. So, stay strong, stay stoic, and continue to learn and grow. 3. The Art of Indifference. Mastering the art of indifference is a powerful way to maintain your strength when dealing with difficult situations and people, particularly narcissists. Indifference in the Stoic sense means remaining unaffected, unattached, and unmoved by things beyond your control that do not contribute to your happiness and well-being. Narcissists often suffer from attachment, becoming addicted to external factors like admiration, attention, validation, praise, power, status, or money, believing these are essential for their happiness. They relentlessly pursue these things, often at the expense of others, yet remain perpetually dissatisfied and ungrateful. But what if you refuse to meet their desires, and instead show them what they truly need? What if you refrain from feeding their addiction and instead starve it? What if you detach yourself from them and the things they value rather than attaching yourself to them? This approach can be tormenting for a narcissist because they would realize they're not receiving what they desire and they're not providing what you truly need. They would come to understand they aren't as important, valuable, or worthy as they believe, and they aren't contributing to your happiness, fulfillment, or completeness. So how can you master the art of indifference and remain unaffected by things beyond your control that don't impact your well-being? Here are some Stoic tips and techniques to help. First, utilize the Stoic categories of value by differentiating between what matters and what doesn't. Stoics categorize things into 3 groups: the good, the bad, and the indifferent. Focus on pursuing the good, avoiding the bad, and being indifferent to the indifferent. For example, a job promotion, the good, is worth pursuing, while losing social media followers, the indifferent, should not affect your happiness. Next, apply the reserve clause by detaching yourself from the outcome and mentally adding phrases like, "if nothing prevents me," or "if fate allows," to your intentions. This helps you refrain from expecting or demanding a specific outcome and prepares you for any possibility, measuring your success by your effort rather than the outcome itself. Practice negative visualization to appreciate what you have and curb cravings for what you lack. By imagining scenarios where you lose something you possess or gain something you lack, you realize how fortunate you are, how little you truly require, and how adaptable you can be. This fosters gratitude, contentment, and happiness. Imagine your life without your close friends or a roof over your head, and you will gain a deeper appreciation for these aspects of your life. Incorporating these Stoic principles into your daily routine helps cultivate indifference towards external circumstances, nurturing your inner peace and well-being. As Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This quote emphasizes that your power lies in your response to events, not the events themselves. By mastering indifference, you maintain control over your reactions, ensuring that external factors don't disturb your inner tranquility. To relate this to modern life, consider the story of a successful entrepreneur who lost his business in an economic downturn. Instead of succumbing to despair, he applied Stoic principles. Focusing on what he could control and remaining indifferent to the loss, he rebuilt his business, drawing strength from his inner resilience and perspective. This story illustrates how mastering indifference can help you navigate life's challenges with grace and strength. How can you apply these principles in your daily life? What situations or people do you need to practice indifference towards to maintain your peace of mind? Reflecting on these questions can help you identify areas where you can implement Stoic strategies to enhance your well-being. Remember, your happiness and fulfillment depend on your inner state, not external circumstances. By integrating these Stoic teachings into your life, you can stay strong and resilient even when faced with adversity. The Art of Indifference allows you to focus on what truly matters, ensuring that you remain steadfast and unshaken by the trivialities of life. If you found this content helpful, please like, share, and subscribe. Your feedback is valuable, and remember to live well and wisely. If these tactics resonate with you, you're ready to stand up to narcissists with strength and wisdom. Comment with "Strong with Marcus" to show your dedication to overcoming challenges. Stay tuned. More insightful advice is on the way. 4. The practice of acceptance. In the face of life's challenges, especially when dealing with difficult individuals like narcissists, mastering the art of acceptance can be a powerful tool to maintain your strength and composure. As Epictetus wisely said, "Make the best use of what is in your power and take the rest as it happens." Embracing this Stoic wisdom can guide you to live more peacefully and resiliently. The fourth and final method to challenge a narcissist using Stoicism revolves around practicing acceptance. Acceptance is the ability to embrace reality as it is without resistance, denial, or complaint. It's the opposite of resistance, which involves rejecting reality and trying to change it to fit one's desires. Narcissists often struggle with acceptance. They deny reality and try to mold it to their will, refusing to accept themselves, others, or the world as they are. They hide their flaws, mistakes, and failures, blaming them on others, and distort, ignore, or reject the truth. But what if we don't join them in their denial? What if we confront them with reality? What if we don't support their delusions but expose them? What if we don't resist reality but rather accept it? For a narcissist, this acceptance would be torture, as they'd realize they're living in a fantasy, out of touch with reality, and not who they think they are or want to be. They'd acknowledge they're not living well and need to change. So how can we practice acceptance? One effective way is through Stoic meditation, a mental exercise that helps us reflect on reality objectively and rationally. It involves setting aside time daily to examine ourselves, our actions, and experiences, comparing them with our ideals, goals, and values. We acknowledge both our successes and failures, preparing ourselves for the challenges ahead. Additionally, Stoic affirmations can reinforce our acceptance and help overcome resistance. These positive statements remind us of reality and how we can deal with it, fostering a positive and realistic attitude. They assist us in coping with life's challenges with wisdom, courage, justice, and self-control. Here are some powerful affirmations from Stoicism to help reinforce acceptance. I accept reality as it is. I focus on what I can control and let go of what I can't. I do not resist, deny, or complain. Instead, I embrace, understand, and act. I do not let external things disturb my peace of mind. I keep it within my own power. I do not depend on external things for my happiness and well-being. Rather, I rely on my own virtue and wisdom. I do not fear, desire, or regret anything. I love and appreciate everything. When dealing with a narcissist, we can utilize these affirmations to reinforce our acceptance and overcome resistance. We might tell ourselves, I accept the narcissist as they are. I focus on my own thoughts, judgments, and actions, and let go of theirs. I embrace, understand, and act instead of resisting, denying, or complaining. I maintain my peace of mind within my own control. I find happiness and well-being within myself, not dependent on the narcissist. And I approach everything with love and appreciation, free from fear, desire, or regret. In modern life, acceptance can be a powerful tool to navigate various challenges. For instance, consider a business leader who faces a significant setback, such as a failed project or a market downturn. By practicing acceptance, they can acknowledge the reality of the situation without denial or complaint, focusing instead on what they can control, like learning from the failure and planning the next steps. This approach not only helps in maintaining their composure but also in making rational and effective decisions. Integrating these teachings into your life, you can stay strong and resilient, even when faced with adversity. Acceptance allows you to focus on what truly matters, ensuring that you remain steadfast and unshaken by the trivialities of life. As Seneca said, true happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future. This wisdom encourages us to embrace acceptance, focusing on the present moment and our inner peace. Remember, your happiness and fulfillment depend on your inner state, not external circumstances. If you found this content helpful, please like, share, and subscribe. Your feedback is valuable, and remember to live well and wisely. 12 Signs of a Narcissist. 1. Narcissists frequently lie and exaggerate everything. Narcissists frequently lie and exaggerate everything, weaving tales that serve their own purposes. Unlike gaslighters who manipulate to gain control, narcissists lie to protect their outward image, aiming to craft a reality that suits their desires. These individuals find lying not a source of anxiety as most do, but rather a method to regain their composure. They are fully aware of their deceit, but remain oblivious to its consequences, thus continuing this cycle without remorse or consideration for the truth. When confronted with criticism, narcissists never admit mistakes and often react with intense anger. You might hear them say things like, "What makes you say that about me?" Or, "I never did that," coupled with actions like slamming doors or showing overt irritation. Their immediate, aggressive responses stem from deep insecurity, leading them to attack others rather than take responsibility for their actions. This refusal to acknowledge faults and their defensive behavior can make any attempt to address issues with them incredibly challenging. Creating a false image of themselves is another hallmark of narcissists. Despite their deep-seated insecurity, they crave admiration and respect from others. To achieve this, they construct a false self, a facade that hides their true nature. Social media has exacerbated this tendency, offering a platform for them to project this carefully curated image to a wider audience. Narcissists may engage in online bullying as a means to assert their perceived superiority, all while desperately protecting the false image they've created. Narcissists also break rules and cross boundaries regularly. Whether it's cutting in line or flouting traffic laws, their behavior poses a nuisance and sometimes a danger to the community. Their disregard for social norms and others' boundaries, be it personal space, property, or time, reflects their belief that they are entitled to what they want, irrespective of principles or consequences. A Stoic philosopher would remind us here of Epictetus's words, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Understanding this can help you stay grounded amidst the chaos narcissists create. A lack of empathy is a defining trait of narcissists. While they can be quick to criticize others and shift blame, they struggle to express genuine empathy. This does not mean they are incapable of understanding others' feelings. Rather, their ability to show empathy is often buried under layers of self-protection and ego. The emotional walls they build to safeguard their image prevent them from connecting deeply with others. Manipulation and exploitation are common tactics employed by narcissists. They masterfully manipulate situations and people to achieve their goals, whether through displaying omnipotence or choosing careers that allow them to control others. 1.1. Parents who pressure their children to fulfill their own unrealized dreams are displaying narcissistic traits. As Michelle Leno points out, narcissists do love, but their love is conditional and weak because they seek to control you. Despite their seemingly cunning nature, narcissists are surprisingly gullible. They often fall prey to investment scams and similar deceptions, largely because they live in a self-created fantasy world where they believe they are invincible and favored. When reality doesn't align with this fantasy, they are left disillusioned. Their reckless actions stem from a belief that they cannot lose, unreasonable demands from a sense of entitlement, and deceit from a misguided notion that no one will notice. The Stoic reminder from Seneca, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality," highlights how their distorted perceptions can lead to their downfall. Understanding these signs of narcissism can help you navigate interactions with such individuals more effectively. By recognizing their patterns, you can maintain your own sense of integrity and avoid being drawn into their manipulative games. Remember to stay true to yourself, uphold your values, and seek wisdom in the teachings of Stoicism to guide you through life's challenges. 2. Narcissists never admit mistakes. This insight guides us as we delve into the second sign of a narcissist: their inability to admit mistakes and their tendency to react with anger when criticized. Imagine a situation where someone points out a flaw or a mistake in a narcissist's behavior. You might hear responses like, "What makes you say that about me?" or "I never did that," coupled with actions such as slamming doors or showing overt irritation. These are not just random outbursts, but are typical reactions from narcissists when faced with criticism. Their deeply rooted insecurity triggers an immediate defensive reaction to protect their fragile self-esteem. This defensive stance often manifests in passive-aggressive remarks or personal attacks aimed at diverting attention from their mistakes. Narcissists will go to great lengths to avoid taking responsibility, often projecting their flaws onto others with statements like, "You're not perfect either." This pattern of behavior can make any attempt to address issues with them incredibly challenging, leading to a toxic cycle of blame and deflection. Their inability to admit fault is not just a quirk, but a fundamental aspect of their personality, deeply tied to their need to maintain a perfect image. This is why narcissists react so vehemently to criticism. They see it as a direct threat to their carefully constructed facade. As Aristotle once noted, the ultimate value of life depends upon awareness and the power of contemplation rather than upon mere survival. For narcissists, however, survival seems to depend on maintaining an illusion of infallibility, which they guard zealously. By understanding this, you can better navigate your interactions with such individuals. Instead of engaging in their blame games, maintain your composure and recognize that their reactions are more about them than about the truth of the situation. It's essential to approach these situations with a sense of detachment, much like the Stoics advocated, to avoid being pulled into their drama. Staying grounded and not taking their attacks personally, you can maintain your peace and integrity. Remember the words of Epictetus. "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This perspective can be particularly empowering when dealing with narcissists. Their angry reactions to criticism are not about you, but about their inner turmoil and fear of being exposed. Recognizing this can help you avoid taking their behavior personally, and instead respond with calm and reason. Maintaining boundaries and not getting drawn into their emotional outbursts is crucial. As you reflect on these insights, consider how you can apply Stoic principles in your daily life to navigate interactions with narcissists more effectively. Engaging with these questions can deepen your understanding and equip you with practical strategies to deal with difficult personalities. Remember, the goal is not to change them, but to manage your responses and protect your mental and emotional health. By practicing empathy without enabling their behavior, you can maintain your peace and uphold your values. In conclusion, understanding the traits of narcissism, such as their refusal to admit mistakes and tendency to react with anger, can help you navigate your relationships with greater wisdom and compassion. 3. Creating a false image of themselves. Narcissists, despite their deep-seated insecurities, crave admiration and respect from others. To achieve this, they construct a false image, often referred to as the false self, which hides their true nature. In our modern world, social media has amplified this behavior, providing narcissists with a platform to project an idealized version of themselves. They meticulously curate their online personas to gain attention and validation, often resorting to cyberbullying as a way to assert their perceived superiority. This behavior stems from their profound insecurity, which they conceal behind a facade they fiercely protect. Have you ever noticed how some people seem to live a perfect life online, yet their real-life actions tell a different story? This is a prime example of a narcissist creating and maintaining a false image. Let me share a story to illustrate this. There was a man named Tom who seemed to have it all on social media. His posts were filled with pictures of luxury vacations, expensive cars, and glamorous parties. However, those who knew him personally saw a different side. Tom was constantly stressed, deeply insecure, and desperate for validation. He would go to great lengths to maintain his online persona, even if it meant deceiving those around him. This need for admiration drove him to hide his true self behind a mask of perfection. Recognizing this behavior is crucial. Narcissists' false selves can lead to a toxic environment, especially if you find yourself constantly trying to live up to their unrealistic standards or feeling manipulated by their actions. The famous saying, "Don't judge a book by its cover," perfectly encapsulates the lesson here. It reminds us that what we see on the surface often hides the deeper truth. Narcissists are masters of illusion, and their false images are crafted to protect their fragile egos. They crave the admiration and validation they receive from their curated personas, which can make them appear confident and successful. But underneath, they are often plagued by self-doubt and fear of exposure. This duality can create a confusing and challenging dynamic for those who interact with them. Understanding this, we can approach interactions with narcissists with greater empathy and awareness. It's essential to protect our own well-being by recognizing their tactics and maintaining healthy boundaries. In conclusion, understanding the narcissist's need to create a false image helps us see beyond the facade. It allows us to approach these relationships with a clearer perspective and avoid being manipulated by their constructed realities. Remember, the key lesson here is to look beyond appearances and value authenticity over superficial charm. As we navigate our interactions with narcissists, let us hold on to the wisdom of Epictetus. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. This perspective empowers us to maintain our integrity and emotional health, even in the face of deception. If these insights into narcissism have resonated with you, you're on the path to better understanding and self-awareness. Comment with "empowered by knowledge" to show your commitment to personal growth. Stay tuned. More valuable wisdom is coming your way. 4. Constantly breaking rules and crossing boundaries. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This wisdom guides us as we explore the fourth sign of a narcissist, their tendency to constantly break rules and cross boundaries. Consider the frustration and risk involved when someone repeatedly flouts traffic laws, putting others in harm's way just to satisfy their own sense of entitlement. This behavior is a clear indication of narcissism, where the individual's desires trump societal norms and principles. Psychologists note that for a narcissist, the mantra is, "I must get what I want." If what they want conflicts with established principles, they simply ignore those principles. Have you ever encountered someone who consistently oversteps boundaries, disregarding personal space, property, thoughts, and time? This is another hallmark of narcissistic behavior, as they view their needs and wants as paramount, often at the expense of others' comfort and rights. Imagine a scenario where a coworker repeatedly takes credit for your ideas, or a neighbor encroaches on your property without regard for your boundaries. These actions, although seemingly small, reflect a deeper disregard for others that can escalate into more significant issues. The consistent breaking of rules and crossing of boundaries by narcissists can taint the environment, creating a toxic atmosphere for those around them. Reflecting on these behaviors in the context of modern life, it's essential to establish and maintain boundaries to protect your well-being. Maintaining firm yet respectful boundaries can help mitigate the impact of a narcissist's actions. Additionally, understanding their motivations can provide clarity and help you avoid being drawn into their manipulative games. In conclusion, recognizing the signs of narcissism, such as the constant breaking of rules and crossing of boundaries, empowers you to navigate your interactions with greater awareness and resilience. Remember to uphold your principles and stay true to your values, even in the face of such disruptive behavior. As you apply these insights, consider the words of Seneca. "He who is brave is free." By standing firm against the encroachments of narcissists, you protect your freedom and maintain your integrity. So how will you use this knowledge to enhance your interactions and safeguard your personal space? Reflect on this and take steps to ensure your boundaries are respected, fostering healthier and more respectful relationships. 5. Lack of empathy for others. Narcissists are notorious for denying their own mistakes while being quick to highlight the flaws or blame others. This doesn't mean they are entirely incapable of empathy, rather, they lack the ability to express it adequately. Their capacity for empathy is often buried under the walls they've built to protect their image and ego. Imagine a situation where a colleague constantly criticizes your work while never acknowledging their own errors. This behavior can be incredibly frustrating and demoralizing. Narcissists engage in this pattern of deflection and projection to safeguard their self-image. They might say things like, "It's your fault this project failed," while ignoring their own contributions to the problem. This tendency to shift blame and focus on others' shortcomings creates a toxic environment where genuine communication and collaboration become nearly impossible. Narcissists often lack the emotional intelligence to connect with others on a deeper level. Their primary concern is maintaining their facade of perfection and superiority. As a result, they might come across as cold, indifferent, or even hostile when confronted with someone else's emotions. This behavior stems from their deep-seated fear of vulnerability and exposure. As Epictetus wisely stated, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." Narcissists, however, often do the opposite, focusing more on asserting their dominance than on truly listening and empathizing with others. Reflecting on these behaviors, it's essential to recognize that a narcissist's lack of empathy is not about you. It's about their internal struggles and insecurities. This understanding can help you approach interactions with narcissists more strategically. Instead of expecting empathy and understanding from them, focus on setting clear boundaries and protecting your emotional well-being. Have you ever tried to explain your feelings to someone who simply didn't seem to care? How did that make you feel? And what strategies did you use to cope with the situation? Asking yourself these questions can help you develop better ways to handle such interactions in the future. In our modern world, where digital communication often replaces face-to-face interaction. Recognizing the signs of a narcissist's lack of empathy becomes even more critical. Social media platforms can amplify narcissistic behaviors as individuals curate their lives to appear flawless and superior. This can lead to a distorted perception of reality and further alienate those who seek genuine connections. The words of Seneca remind us, one of the most beautiful qualities of true friendship is to understand and to be understood. Striving for such relationships requires us to be mindful of the toxic influence narcissists can have, and to seek out those who value empathy and mutual respect. In conclusion, understanding the narcissist's lack of empathy helps us navigate our relationships with greater awareness and resilience. By recognizing their inability to connect on an emotional level, we can avoid the pitfalls of expecting genuine empathy from them. Instead, focus on fostering relationships with individuals who demonstrate true understanding and compassion. Remember, the key lesson here is to protect your own emotional health and seek out connections that enrich your life. As you reflect on these insights, consider how you can apply them to your interactions, ensuring that you maintain your integrity and well-being in the face of narcissistic behaviors. 6. Manipulating and exploiting others. This wisdom guides us as we explore the sixth sign of a narcissist, their tendency to manipulate and exploit others. Narcissists are masters of manipulation and exploitation, using their actions and choices to control those around them. They might appear all-knowing or choose careers that give them power over others, all with the intent to dominate and control. Think about the parents who pressure their children to fulfill their own unfulfilled dreams. This is a classic example of narcissistic behavior, where the parent's need for control overshadows the child's autonomy and desires. Psychologist Michelle Leno points out, narcissists do love, but because they want to control you, that love is conditional and weak. This conditional love is a powerful tool of manipulation, as it keeps those around the narcissist constantly striving for approval that is never fully given. In our modern world, you might encounter a boss who takes credit for your work or a friend who always seems to have an agenda. These are examples of how narcissists exploit relationships to their advantage. They use charm, guilt, and even intimidation to manipulate others, ensuring their needs are met above all else. Consider a story of a man named John, who had a boss that was the epitome of a narcissist. This boss would frequently take credit for John's ideas, making John feel undervalued and exploited. Despite John's hard work, his boss's manipulation and need for control made it difficult for him to succeed on his own merits. How did John cope? By recognizing the manipulation and setting firm boundaries, John was able to protect his mental health and seek opportunities where his efforts were genuinely appreciated. This open-ended question invites you to reflect on your strategies and consider new ways to protect yourself from such toxic behavior. Understanding the signs of manipulation can empower you to respond more effectively. Narcissists thrive on the power they hold over others, and by setting clear boundaries and asserting your own needs, you can diminish their influence. In conclusion, recognizing the manipulative and exploitative behaviors of narcissists is crucial for maintaining healthy relationships and protecting your well-being. By understanding their tactics and motivations, you can develop strategies to counteract their influence. Remember, the key lesson here is to uphold your own values and integrity, ensuring that you do not fall victim to their conditional love and manipulation. Reflect on these insights and consider how you can apply them to your interactions, fostering healthier and more authentic relationships. Embodying this philosophy, you protect your own well-being and cultivate a life of integrity and respect. So, how will you use this knowledge to enhance your interactions and safeguard your emotional health? Reflect on this and take proactive steps to ensure your relationships are based on mutual respect and genuine connection. 7. Easily fooled. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "It is impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows." This wisdom guides us as we explore the seventh sign of a narcissist, being easily fooled. Despite their cunning exterior, narcissists are incredibly naive. According to Dr. Sam Vankin, narcissists are prone to falling for investment scams or similar deceptions because they construct a fantasy world where they see themselves as omnipotent, favored, and immune to consequences. This self-constructed fantasy leads them to believe they can't lose, which makes them take unreasonable risks and make demands that seem irrational to others. They lie and manipulate, assuming no one will notice, and their inflated sense of self-worth blinds them to the reality of their vulnerabilities. Have you ever wondered how someone who seems so confident can be so easily deceived? This question invites reflection on the paradoxical nature of narcissism, where the facade of invincibility hides profound naivety. Consider the story of a successful entrepreneur named Tom, who was convinced to invest in a dubious venture by a smooth-talking scam artist. Despite warnings from friends and colleagues, Tom's narcissistic belief in his infallibility led him to dismiss their concerns. When the venture inevitably collapsed, Tom was left disillusioned and financially devastated. This experience is a stark reminder of how narcissists' fantasy worlds can crumble when faced with harsh realities. In our modern world, this trait is particularly evident in the context of social media and online interactions. Narcissists often curate an image of perfection, believing their online persona to be invulnerable. This can make them targets for online scams and manipulations, as their need for admiration and validation overrides their judgment. The words of Seneca ring true here. A wise man is content with his lot, whatever it may be, without wishing for what he has not. Narcissists, however, are never content, always seeking more and believing they deserve it, which leads them into traps laid by those who recognize their vulnerabilities. Understanding this trait can help you navigate your interactions with narcissists more effectively. Recognize that their bravado often masks deep insecurity and naivety. By maintaining a clear perspective and not getting drawn into their fantasy world, you can protect yourself from their manipulative tactics. Reflect on how you can apply this understanding in your own life. In conclusion, recognizing that narcissists, despite their cunning appearance, are easily fooled, helps us navigate our relationships with greater clarity and resilience. Their self-constructed fantasies and naivety make them vulnerable to deception, leading to disillusionment and failure. As you reflect on these insights, consider how you can apply them to protect yourself and maintain healthy, authentic relationships. Remember the wisdom of Epictetus. It is impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows. By staying grounded and aware, you can navigate your interactions with narcissists more effectively, ensuring your own growth and well-being. So how will you use this knowledge to enhance your interactions and safeguard your emotional health? Reflect on this and take proactive steps to ensure your relationships are based on mutual respect and genuine connection. 8. Incessant need for admiration. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus wisely said, "It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This insight sets the stage as we delve into the 8th sign of a narcissist, their incessant need for admiration. Narcissists have an insatiable hunger for admiration and validation, which fuels much of their behavior. This craving goes beyond a simple desire for compliments. It becomes an essential part of their self-worth and identity. They need constant attention and often fish for praise to bolster their fragile self-esteem. In conversations, you might notice that narcissists frequently steer topics back to themselves and exaggerate their achievements to garner admiration. This behavior creates a draining dynamic in relationships, where partners, friends, and colleagues feel compelled to provide continuous praise and attention. Have you ever noticed someone who constantly seeks approval and becomes visibly agitated when they don't receive it? This behavior is deeply rooted in insecurity and a lack of genuine self-worth. Lao Tzu once said, "He who knows that enough is enough will always have enough." However, narcissists never feel they have enough admiration, leading them to perpetually seek it. often at the expense of others' needs and feelings. In our modern digital age, this behavior often manifests in the relentless pursuit of social media likes and followers. For narcissists, their sense of self-worth becomes tied to digital validation, and they might go to great lengths to curate an idealized online persona. This can include constantly posting selfies, exaggerating accomplishments, and seeking validation from a broad online audience. It's crucial to recognize this pattern and set boundaries to protect your own emotional well-being. One striking example is the story of Jane, a woman who seemed to live her life for the approval of others. On social media, she was always the center of attention, posting glamorous photos and stories about her supposed achievements. However, those who knew her personally saw a different side. Jane's relentless pursuit of admiration led her to neglect genuine relationships, leaving her feeling isolated and unfulfilled despite her apparent popularity. This story illustrates how the incessant need for admiration can create a hollow existence, devoid of true connection and satisfaction. Recognizing this behavior in others can help you set healthy boundaries. When you encounter someone who constantly seeks admiration, it's essential to protect your emotional well-being by not getting drawn into their need for validation. Instead, focus on fostering relationships with individuals who appreciate mutual respect and genuine connection. In navigating these interactions, remember the wisdom of Epictetus. Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. By valuing authenticity and self-worth over superficial admiration, you can cultivate a more fulfilling and grounded life. In conclusion, understanding the narcissist's incessant need for admiration helps you navigate relationships with greater clarity and resilience. This behavior is driven by deep-seated insecurity and a constant craving for validation, often leading to toxic dynamics. By recognizing this pattern and setting firm boundaries, you can protect your emotional health and seek out relationships that offer mutual respect and genuine connection. Reflect on how you can apply these insights in your own life, ensuring that you maintain your integrity and well-being in the face of narcissistic behavior. 9. Envy and belittling others. This wisdom is particularly relevant as we delve into the 9th sign of a narcissist, their tendency towards envy and belittling others. Narcissists often feel intense envy toward those who possess what they desire, whether it's success, wealth, beauty, or relationships. This envy drives them to belittle or undermine these individuals to elevate themselves. They might spread rumors, downplay others' achievements, or criticize those they envy, all to diminish the value of others and inflate their own self-importance. This behavior stems from a deep-seated belief that they are inherently superior and deserve what others have. Aristotle once said, "Envy is the ulcer of the soul." For narcissists, this ulcer can lead to toxic interactions and relationships, poisoning the well of social and professional environments. Have you ever felt belittled by someone who seemed threatened by your success? This tactic is a common narcissistic defense mechanism to cope with their own inadequacies. In modern contexts, such behavior can be seen in the workplace, where a narcissistic colleague might sabotage a peer's project or spread negative gossip. Recognizing these tactics can help you protect yourself from their detrimental effects and maintain your self-esteem. It's important to understand that this behavior is not about you, but about the narcissist's insecurities and their need to feel superior. By acknowledging this, you can rise above the envy-driven negativity and focus on your own growth and achievements. Let me share a story that illustrates this behavior. Consider a talented employee named Sarah, who consistently performed well at work. Her success, however, triggered the envy of her colleague, Tom, who started spreading false rumors about her. Tom's actions were driven by his envy and his need to feel superior. Despite the negativity, Sarah remained focused on her work and continued to excel. Her resilience and ability to rise above the envy-driven sabotage highlighted her strength and commitment to her goals. This story reminds us that we can choose how we respond to others' envy and negativity. In our modern, digital age, this behavior often extends to social media, where narcissists might belittle others to appear superior. They may leave negative comments, spread false information, or highlight their achievements to overshadow others. This can create a toxic online environment where negativity and competition overshadow genuine connection and support. It's crucial to recognize these behaviors and not let them affect your self-worth. Remember, as Epictetus said, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. By maintaining your composure and focusing on your own path, you can navigate these challenges effectively. Reflecting on this can help you understand the underlying dynamics and develop healthier ways to interact. It's important to set boundaries and protect your emotional well-being from toxic influences. Building a support network of positive and encouraging individuals can also help you stay grounded and focused on your goals. In conclusion, understanding the narcissist's tendency towards envy and belittling others helps you navigate relationships with greater clarity and resilience. This behavior is driven by deep-seated insecurities and a need for superiority, often leading to toxic dynamics. By recognizing these patterns and setting firm boundaries, you can protect your emotional health and focus on your own growth and achievements. Reflect on how you can apply these insights in your own life, ensuring that you maintain your integrity and well-being in the face of narcissistic behavior. 10. Lack of genuine relationships. As Friedrich Nietzsche aptly put it, it is not a lack of love but a lack of friendship that makes unhappy marriages. This insight sets the stage for exploring the 10th sign of a narcissist: their lack of genuine relationships. Narcissists struggle to form deep, meaningful connections because their primary focus is on themselves. Their interactions are often transactional, driven by what they can gain rather than fostering mutual connection and support. This lack of authenticity leads to superficial relationships that lack depth and emotional intimacy. Narcissists may have many acquaintances but few true friends because their self-centered behavior drives people away over time. They are adept at initial charm, drawing people in with their charisma and apparent confidence. However, as relationships progress, their inability to engage genuinely and their constant need for admiration and validation become apparent. This behavior creates a cycle of superficiality where true emotional connections are scarce. Have you ever had a friend who seemed more interested in what you could do for them rather than in you as a person? This dynamic is typical of narcissistic relationships, where the focus is always on their needs and desires. In our modern world, social media often exacerbates these tendencies. Narcissists use platforms like Instagram and Facebook to cultivate an image that garners attention and admiration, often at the expense of real-world connections. They may have thousands of followers but lack any meaningful relationships. This digital age can foster a sense of superficial connection, where likes and comments replace genuine interaction. It's crucial to recognize this pattern and strive to nurture authentic relationships that offer mutual respect and support. Consider the story of Alex, who had a large social media following and was always the life of the party. Despite his popularity, Alex felt an emptiness that his numerous acquaintances couldn't fill. He realized that his relationships were shallow, driven by his need for attention rather than true connection. This realization led Alex to seek more meaningful interactions, focusing on quality over quantity. By prioritizing genuine friendships, he found greater satisfaction and emotional intimacy in his life. How do you distinguish between superficial and meaningful relationships in your own life? Reflecting on this question can help you understand and navigate your interactions better. Narcissists' inability to form genuine relationships often leads to loneliness and dissatisfaction in their personal lives. They might have numerous social interactions, yet feel isolated, because these connections lack real substance. This loneliness is a consequence of their self-centered approach to relationships, which prevents them from experiencing the mutual support and understanding that come with true friendship. As Epictetus said, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions but in having few wants." Narcissists, with their insatiable need for admiration and validation, often find themselves in a constant state of wanting, which prevents them from appreciating the value of genuine relationships. In conclusion, understanding the narcissist's lack of genuine relationships helps you navigate your interactions with greater clarity and resilience. Their transactional approach to relationships, driven by self-interest, leads to superficial connections that lack depth and emotional intimacy. By recognizing these patterns, you can protect your emotional well-being and seek out relationships that offer mutual respect and genuine support. Reflect on how you can apply these insights in your own life to ensure you build meaningful connections that enrich your life. 11. Using others as extensions of themselves. Welcome to today's discussion on understanding narcissism, particularly for men aged 30 to 65 who aim to build healthier relationships and achieve personal growth. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus wisely said, "People are not disturbed by things but by the views they take of them." This insight sets the stage for exploring the 11th sign of a narcissist, using others as extensions of themselves. Narcissists often view people in their lives not as individuals, with their own needs and aspirations, but as tools to enhance their own status or image. This objectification can lead to controlling and manipulative behavior, where the narcissist dictates others' actions to align with their own agenda. Narcissists see their children, partners, or friends as mere extensions of themselves, using them to achieve their own goals and fulfill their desires. This perspective can lead to unhealthy and abusive dynamics, as the narcissist exerts control over others to maintain their self-image. Consider a parent who pushes their child into a specific career path, regardless of the child's interests or passions. This behavior stems from the narcissist's need to project a certain image of success and achievement, often at the expense of the child's autonomy and happiness. In our modern world, this behavior can manifest in various ways. A partner might demand certain behaviors to maintain their image, such as insisting on specific social interactions or lifestyle choices that align with their desired persona. This controlling behavior can be incredibly stifling for those on the receiving end, leading to feelings of being used and manipulated. Have you ever felt pressured to conform to someone else's expectations, disregarding your own needs and desires? This question invites reflection on how these dynamics might be affecting your own life. Reflecting on this dynamic is crucial for setting boundaries and asserting your own autonomy. Recognizing when you're being used as an extension of someone else is the first step towards reclaiming your sense of self. It's essential to identify and challenge these controlling behaviors, ensuring that your own needs and aspirations are respected. By maintaining a strong sense of self and prioritizing your own values, you can protect your emotional well-being from the detrimental effects of narcissistic behavior. Consider the story of Lisa, who was in a relationship with a narcissistic partner. Her partner often dictated her actions, insisting that she dress a certain way and socialize with specific people to maintain his desired image. Over time, Lisa felt increasingly stifled and disconnected from her true self. Recognizing the unhealthy dynamic, she decided to assert her autonomy and set clear boundaries. This decision empowered Lisa to reclaim her sense of self and prioritize her own needs and desires, leading to a healthier and more fulfilling life. Understanding the narcissist's tendency to use others as extensions of themselves helps you navigate relationships with greater clarity and resilience. This behavior is driven by a need to maintain a certain image and exert control, often leading to unhealthy and abusive dynamics. By recognizing these patterns and setting firm boundaries, you can protect your emotional health and assert your autonomy. Reflect on how you can apply these insights in your own life to ensure you maintain your integrity and well-being in the face of narcissistic behavior. If you've recognized these signs of a narcissist, you're taking important steps towards healthier relationships. Leave a comment with, Narcissist aware to show your commitment to understanding and growth. Keep watching. More enlightening insights await. 12. Difficulty handling criticism. As Winston Churchill famously said, criticism may not be agreeable, but it is necessary. It fulfills the same function as pain in the human body. It calls attention to an unhealthy state of things. This quote sets the stage as we delve into the 12th sign of a narcissist. Their extreme difficulty handling criticism. Narcissists struggle immensely with criticism, regardless of how constructive or mild it might be. They perceive any form of criticism as a direct attack on their self-worth, and respond with defensiveness, anger, or even aggression. This hypersensitivity to criticism often results in narcissists lashing out at the critic or attempting to discredit them to protect their fragile ego. Imagine working in an environment where your boss reacts with hostility to any feedback. This is a common scenario with narcissistic individuals in positions of power. They may retaliate against employees who offer constructive criticism, creating a toxic and fearful workplace atmosphere. This inability to accept feedback hinders their growth and the overall progress of the team or organization. The same pattern can be observed in personal relationships where a narcissistic partner might react with intense anger to any perceived slight, making it difficult to have open and honest communication. This hypersensitivity to criticism is rooted in the narcissist's deep-seated insecurity. Their inflated sense of self-worth is a fragile facade that cannot withstand the slightest dent. They see criticism not as an opportunity for growth, but as a threat to their carefully constructed image. In our modern world, this trait is especially problematic in digital interactions, such as social media and online forums. Narcissists may react aggressively to comments or feedback, often engaging in online arguments to defend their self-image. This behavior not only alienates others but also perpetuates a cycle of negativity and hostility. Understanding this sensitivity can help you navigate interactions with narcissists more effectively, avoiding unnecessary conflict while maintaining your own integrity. Consider the story of Mike, a manager known for his aggressive responses to feedback. His team lived in constant fear of making mistakes, knowing that any suggestion for improvement would be met with hostility. This environment stifled creativity and innovation, as team members were too afraid to speak up. Mike's inability to handle criticism not only harmed his relationships with his team, but also impeded the team's progress. Recognizing the need for change, Mike attended a leadership workshop that focused on constructive feedback and emotional intelligence. Through this experience, he learned to see criticism as a pathway to improvement rather than a personal attack. This transformation improved not only his leadership skills but also the overall morale and productivity of his team. Reflecting on how you handle criticism can provide valuable insights into your own growth and development. Do you see feedback as an opportunity to learn and improve, or do you react defensively? Embracing a more constructive approach to criticism can help you grow both personally and professionally. It's essential to differentiate between destructive criticism, which aims to harm, and constructive criticism, which seeks to help. By fostering a mindset of continuous improvement and openness to feedback, you can navigate challenges more effectively and build stronger, more resilient relationships. Understanding the narcissist's difficulty handling criticism helps you navigate your interactions with greater clarity and resilience. Their hypersensitivity to feedback is driven by deep-seated insecurities and a fragile sense of self-worth, often leading to aggressive and defensive responses. By recognizing these patterns, you can protect your emotional health and maintain your integrity while offering feedback. Reflect on how you can apply these insights in your own life, ensuring that you approach criticism constructively and use it as a tool for personal growth. In summary, Stoicism offers us powerful strategies to navigate interactions with narcissists, empowering us to not only cope, but also grow and thrive. It's not just a philosophy, but a way of life, a path to living well and wisely. Remember, as Marcus Aurelius said, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." By practicing these 4 methods, you can maintain your peace and strength. If you found this video helpful, please like, share, and subscribe to Stoic in Your Life. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you won't miss our upcoming videos. Thank you for watching, and stay strong, stay stoic, and continue to learn and grow.